Throughout the New Testament, Jesus is described with exalting terms: King of Kings, Lord of all, Son of Man, the way, the truth, and life. Yet Jesus entered humanity as a helpless baby born in humble circumstances. From a human perspective, Jesus' birth is quite shocking. Why didn't he, if he is God, first appear as a strapping young man, flexing his divine muscles with spectacular feats for all to see? Angels could have trumpeted his coming throughout the whole world, but they didn't. An angel choir lit the night sky for only a few isolated shepherds. Contrast Jesus' advent with first century Roman generals arriving in town to great fanfare, pomp, and circumstances. They wanted to see and be seen, aiming to impress as they displayed power and demanded homage. Jesus came quietly and unobtrusively, demanding nothing. And Jesus' mode of arrival certainly seems like a counterintuitive plan for persuading the world that he's the Messiah. Yet John asserts, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father full of grace and truth. The glory John testifies to doesn't necessarily equate with our human conceptions of glory and power. While the disciples witnessed many miraculous examples of Christ's power, in John's gospel, the greatest demonstration of Jesus' glory is the cross. Jesus himself makes this plain when he says, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. And when I am lifted up from the earth, I will draw all people to myself." John adds his own commentary when he writes, Jesus said this to show the kind of death he was going to die. The shocking humility of the manger points us toward the humiliation of the cross. Jesus was born as a helpless infant, but he is the Savior who came to die a criminal's death for us. Because he rose from that death, when we receive him, John says we enter into his light and life. Sometimes when I wrestle with questions about God, I turn back to John 1, verse 14. The disciples had seen and been with Jesus. They'd eaten with him and traveled with him. They fished with him and laughed with him and grieved with him, face to face. In his life, death, and resurrection, Jesus so profoundly transformed these men that they were willing to abandon everything to suffer and die for Jesus. That reality quells my doubts. I also think about the miracle we celebrate this Christmas Eve. Jesus, the babe in the manger who was in very nature God, yet made himself nothing for us. This baby offers me true hope and makes all things new. In those moments when you ponder the mystery and the glory of the incarnation, worship, trust, and hope is stirred up in you. I'll have one final video devotion to share with you tomorrow on Christmas Day. Our Christmas Eve service will be both live and online at 4 p.m. today. If you miss that time, you can tune in anytime after 5 p.m. on our YouTube channel, FCC-Titusville, to watch the service on demand. God bless you, and we'll talk again tomorrow.